How you on this glorious, beautiful day? You see, they still fucking up our skies, don't huh? Spraying that bullshit, fake clouds, shit all over us. But that ain't what we here to talk about today. We here to talk about history, real history, versus the lies of history on daily doses. Daily doses in the front yard, out here getting my dips on, get the dip board, go around on the bag, trying to get sexy for summer. So let's dive right into history. The history they teach you in school is bullshit. Maybe 50% of it is actual facts. Maybe. Most of it is whitewashed like a motherfucker, and they got bullshit attached to almost every piece of it. And if you really do your diligence to start digging into true history, you'll see it for yourself. Number one, slaves. Touchy subject. Slaves and where they came from. Now, if you think that they brought millions of slaves from Africa all the way over here to the Americas on the little ass Pirates of the Caribbean ships that they had, homie, you're delusional. You're delusional. Think it through. Think it through. They didn't have aircraft carriers. They didn't have big ass cruise ships. They had Pirates of the Caribbean ships, okay, that took months to get from there to here. Now, how do you feed all them slaves? House them, shitting, fresh water. All that comes into play. You understand? All that comes into play. Now, what seems more likely? That they brung millions of motherfuckers all the way from Africa on them last Pirates of the Caribbean ships. Or they're the real aboriginals and natives of this land, of the Americas. Hmm? The Moors, the Murs, the aboriginals of this land is who were taken and made to be slaves, that were desecrated, murdered, raped, everything under the sun that you know about that they did to slaves. That's the truth. And they probably got a lot worse that they ain't even shared with you. Facts. And the biggest facts is they all came from right here. Facts. Look it up. The paperwork is even there if you check it out. Back in Georgia, they got a whole section you can go look just in the early 1900s where they reclassified all the, I don't like using the term black folks, but the black folks is into that from Cherokees. They were Cherokees and they reclassified them. Because see, there's the bullshit in itself. There's the bullshit, how they called making it legal. They reclassified them to where they didn't consider them as humans, as people, so they could do what the fuck they want. The dirty sons of bitches, the rotten rat bastards, whoever thought about that demonic ass shit. I hope they burn in a purgatory hell forever. You sons of bitches. Anybody who wishes to take another person and make them a slave, man, that's as corrupt as it gets. That's nigh on demonic in my eyes. But do they teach you that? Do they teach you that? No. They tell you that the natives and aboriginals here are the red man Indians that they show you and they put on TV and all that. Now, I ain't saying that they weren't here. That's not what I'm saying at all. Not at all. Not saying that they weren't here. But were they the originals? No. They were not the aboriginals. No, they was not. No, it was not. The Moors, the black man, whatever you wish to, use as the color definition tone of the skin, are the originals. And it's a fact. And no, I don't want to be that. I'm Italian. My nationality, though, is Crip. Huh? That's my nationality. You want to know when I went to prison and shit? That's what I classified myself as, Crip. And that's what I went in, I wrote it as, and that's what it is. Okay? But the facts for facts here, we're talking about history and the history of this land that they tell you about all the slaves and the bullshit that they put on from the Civil War, which was half faked. They tell you the Civil War was mainly fought around slaves, which is bullshit. The main fact that the Civil War was fought around was because them states wanted to leave the United States, which they had a right. They had the right to do that. But the federal government said they didn't have a right and they rushed it. Now, slaves was a piece of it, but it was a small piece in the long piece of it. Do they teach you this? No. Go to Super Cousins Power to the People page on Facebook, and you learn a whole lot of things you never knew. The histories of the wars that they put us in. World War One. Did you know we wasn't even supposed to get in there? Did you know? Huh? The Americans didn't want to get in that fucking war that was going on overseas. It wasn't nowhere near us until the Lustina. I think I'm saying it right, but it was a cruise ship that got sunk, and they blamed it on the Nazis because the Nazis went so far as to take out ads in all major newspapers in America and told Americans stay off them seas over there. They gave a warning, but it still wasn't them that did it. As if you fast forward to future, and they looked into the Lustina, I think I'm saying the ship name right. When they looked into it, they found that the explosion that was supposed to be a Nazi U-boat torpedo that hit it really came from inside the ship. So a saboteur, somebody blew them up from the inside, and then they blamed it on the Nazis. False flag. It was a false flag like that that got us into World War II to get the people. I mean, the World War One to get us behind the fucking government's want to get over there. World War II. What got us in there? Do you remember? Have you studied? Hmm? Pearl Harbor. Yes, Pearl Harbor. Another false flag that was set up by our own to get us into that war. Hand over hand, they've done that for years. Hand over hand, they've done that for years. Every time they want to get us in a war, something like that usually occurs to get the people mad, to get the people to back the government's bullshit. That's what it is, bullshit. Same thing with the Iran wars. Same thing with the Korean wars. Do they tell you that Vietnam and Korea was fought over opium, over dope, and dope routes? They don't want you to know that, huh? Huh? They don't want you to know that. That's not the history they want to give you. But that's the history that is the truth. Other history that they lie about, damn near everything. Recent history has been manipulated over and over again. Now that they have full control of the major media policies, major media, they can enact their policies almost at will. They decide and then advertise it and then push the issues to move them forward. It's a real thing they're trying to push this new world order. And in order to see the bullshit, you need to go back and look at history and follow it. Follow these motherfuckers and realize that all European monarchs are blood related. Hmm? Blood relations? And almost every president that ever sit on the seat is also related to that same bloodline. So a bloodline basically is running the world. That don't seem funny to you? That don't make you say, how'd that happen? It's one hell of a family fucking reunion, ain't it? Huh? Look and see the things that's going on. Look and understand that the history that they sell you is falsified to make those in power stay in power. They rewrote so much of history. They've whitewashed so many people to make them like they was white when they wasn't even white. Mozart's, Beethoven's. The list is ridiculous. Again, Super Cousins, Power to the People page. Go look up some real information. Share it, pass it on. You hear me? Share it and pass it on. Learn that the history that they're pushing to you is manipulated. And then once you learn that, learn the truth and help teach somebody the truth. Because the only way this age of Aquarius knowledge is going to help us is if we use it, we utilize it, we move forward as the people. Let love take over. Is it possible, man? I'm love's warrior. Yeah, it's possible. Ain't a force ever created more powerful than love. Blood is thicker than water, but love trumps all. I got family closer to me than my blood family we're only bonded from love, from things we went through, things we're still going through, being in each other's lives and being a part of it, good, bad, or whatever may come. I'm creating a history. I'm a bridge builder, a knowledge seeker, and I'm here to enlighten myself and anybody else that wants to come on a trip. Now, that history that they teach you, most of it is some bullshit. The vast majority. Today, daily doses, history and the lies, mostly revolving around slavery and the aboriginals of this land. Y'all have a blessed day. Keep it coasting. I love y'all. Seek to help others. Seek to help us in the situation that we're in as a people here in this country right fucking now. Because we got problems. And our problems stem from our leaders who aren't really our leaders. I'm a sovereign of the republic, and I'll never back this fake ass democracy ever. If you don't know what I'm saying, research it. I love you. Why are you